tomorrow when I step out, about 36 pounds. All right, we got inside. Okay, we're approaching 5 miles. So you can see I've got full raincoat on right now. I took an evening stroll after dinner. And welcome to Hiking with Jerry. For my very first episode, I've chosen to provide highlights from my 39-mile AT section hike. And those will include some minor preparations I took a video of, and then obviously highlights of the hike itself. I've been hiking off and on since 1985. I got back into it hard in 2015, and since then I've logged 165 miles on the Appalachian Trail. Not as much experience as some, less experience or more experience than maybe a few. If you enjoy the video, afterwards, I hope you'll consider subscribing. And of course, in the comments section, you can ask questions or provide suggestions for what you'd like to see in the future. I intend to cover different life hacks and stuff like that on the trail, things I've learned, and maybe you'll pick something up there. So sit back and enjoy the video. So it's Tuesday night, and I'm starting a meal prep for my hike, and it's going to be a ramen chili, and I'm a vegan, so I'm going to be using this. As it turns out, tonight I'm making tacos, so I'm going to take some of this meat away and freeze it for the trip 2 days from now. Okay, we're at the night before, final preparations, because I'll be leaving pretty early tomorrow morning. This is the food that I'll be taking on the trail for the next couple of days, and all of this here will fit into these 2 bags here. Here's my meals. Now this is broken up ramen, so it's ready to go basically to boil. This is my meal, potentially the first night, which has got, or one of these, it doesn't really matter. This has chili powder and pumpkin seeds and sun-dried tomatoes. This one has more chili powder, a different brand. And it's got some Gardein meat that you saw me prepping yesterday. And then for maybe night 3, I'm gonna have a freeze-dried meal, pad thai. That's one of my favorites. You can see the gnomes there in their namaste positions. Kind of funny. Got coffee for every morning, which I do via pour over, which the cone is right here, and it's got some filters in here. This is my oatmeal, so I need 2 breakfasts, and these will be for breakfast. And then 3 dinners, as you just saw, and then 2.5 lunches, because I always plan extra. So lunch, maybe a little extra here. And these are like snacks before we get to lunch, or as a mid-morning snack. More snacks here, some dried fruit. We have more snacks right here. So now we're gonna put it all inside the pack. This is the food here. In here that you just saw spread out, these 2 bags here, it is now all contained. This is my inflatable sleeping pad. These are all my clothes, including some warm clothes because it's going to be chilly. I've got also a knit cap because we're going to be at 6,100 feet the first night. I got extra underwear and socks in here. This red one right here is my MSR single man tent for tomorrow, lightweight. And the green sleeping bag right there is what will also get packed up into the pack. What you're seeing right here, this tube, is my water filter. This stays empty except for at campsite. I'll fill it up for cooking water, so I won't have to worry about filtering that water. And then on the other side, I've got the inside, I've got my bladder, water bladder for drinking while I'm hiking. And I've got another thing of water right there. So that's what I carry when I'm on the trail, that much water, and I refill as necessary when we find water sources. Okay, and now we're packed up except for the tent and the sleeping bag. One note here, I always keep my food packed at the very top so I can easily access snacks during the day. I'm going out, looks like the pack will be tomorrow when I step out, about 36 pounds. It's a bit heavy for some hikers. But it works for me, and by the end of the trip it'll be obviously quite a bit lighter, so not too bad. So we've been dropped off at Clingman's Dome. Yeah. This was our ride right here. Andy's ready to go. Here's our view from Clingman's Dome where we
17 miles today, right?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe not 17. This is where we finished in 2017, and we're gonna finish the Smokies in the next couple of days. And you can see it's really busy up here as we start out. All right, this is where we're starting. We got about 41 miles of hiking to go. That's the tower of Clingman's Dome. Right now I'm standing on the highest point of the Appalachian Trail. There's Andy again. And this is where I finished in 2017. I actually walked up there. So we're not quite a mile in. There's Andy behind me. It's really quiet. So far it's a very pretty afternoon to be out hiking. On the hike here, not too bad. We're probably at like 6,200 feet right now, as best I can tell. So today's gonna be an easy hike, mostly downhill. Okay, so I think we're coming near the top of, forgot the name of it. What was the mountain, Andy? Yeah, Mount Collins. I was hoping there'd be a view up here, although this may not be the top. You think it is?
Yeah.
Could be. Okay, so we were not at the top. That was a bit of a false alarm, fooled by the Appalachian Trail. I think maybe we're coming to the top now, but still not going to be a view. Looks like we're still in a tree line. That's okay. Here is spitting some rain right now. See what I can do about this lighting up. You can hear the rain starting to come down, so guess we need to get to our shelter. But there's a zoom up of a halfway decent view. You can see the clouds in the distance, not too bad. All right, let's go get to the shelter. Here comes the rain. So this is the turnoff sign. Tomorrow morning we'll be back up here. We'll be heading that way back on the Appalachian Trail. From here we got about a half a mile to Mount Collins shelter. So the first 2 nights we're staying on shelters that are, yeah, there it says 3.4 back to Clingman's Dome. So we've done 3.4. First 2 nights we're staying on shelters that are half a mile off the trail. So here's a deer right here. Just walked up. It's a threat of rain, so we set up camp before I could take a picture of the shelter. Trying not to scare him. Hey, buddy. So he's right across the trail from our tent right now where we're camping. You hear Andy setting up tent. Deer's looking at me again. Shelter's back. Let's see if Mr. Deer left or not. Nope. There she is. I wonder how close she'll let me get. He's eating on something right there. Hey, what's up, girl? You okay with me coming close? Hi. I'm just coming to get some video. What you eating there? You don't seem too bothered by me right now. Found something good to eat, huh? Okay, I'm gonna try to get a picture of you. Alright, we got inside just in time. Got all my stuff in. Boots inside the vestibule. And as you can hear, it's raining pretty good right now. So I'm just gonna relax here for a while. Wait for the rain to finish and then maybe get some water and get some food. It rained on us for a good while. It started at like a little after 4 and lasted till like past 5:30. But my water is just about boiled and I'm gonna have my ramen and chili. You can hear there's quite a few people behind us here. So we're in the shelter and campsite is way back there. And then there's cables behind here for us to hang the bear bags. I might, at a minimum, get a picture of those, but my water's about done boiling and I'm hungry. Okay, so it's like 6:50 a.m. and I've had my coffee and my breakfast. So we gotta get going here soon. So this is the official sound of the end of morning. That is the deflation of my sleeping pad. It's time to pack up, and our goal is to be on the road by 7:30 because we got a 15-miler today, so don't want to get a late start. Good morning, everybody. Cheers. And we're coming up to Newfound Gap where there's a lot of people who park often, so I've got to decide if I want to mask up here. So let me put it on pause for a second and I'll give everybody a view. Not too crowded, so I'm not gonna mask up because I'm breathing a little bit hard right now, even though I'm not tired yet. So Elizabeth joined us for the hike. And she's just day hiking with us for a little bit. She knew where we were gonna be on the route and all that. I think she's gonna stay with us a little bit longer, and Andy and I got about probably 4 or 5 miles till lunch. We've done 5 miles so far. We're gonna try to knock out over half before we do lunch, so that between lunch and dinner it's not too bad. So this is obviously a very popular area where people come to park. You can see we're at the Tennessee-North Carolina state line. As soon as that gentleman gets out of the way. Excuse me, sir, can I get a picture of that sign?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right. So a lot of cars here, but so far I'm keeping my distance from people. I notice a lot of people are wearing masks, which is a good thing. And then, okay, well maybe not. Here comes people not wearing a mask, so I'm gonna mask up. All right, so here's a sign that's talking about the Appalachian Trail, which we're getting ready to get back on right now. We dropped off Elizabeth. She's had enough of a day hike and she's gonna head back home. So here we go. Yeah, so it's raining. There's our 2 friends we met last night. They're going to the same place as us, so they got here for lunch just in time, just like we did, so that's pretty cool. So Andy is not sitting with me right now because Andy went off to the privy and it started raining, so I think he's hanging out there. So I brought his pack right here to keep it dry for him and out of the way. So hopefully it'll let up in a little bit and Andy can come have some lunch. So I'm sure he's sitting in the privy right now looking at all this rain. It's still raining a little bit, but we got to get going. I just wanted to show everyone, this is what a water source can look like on the Appalachian Trail. And this is the water source for people staying at the shelter. And you can see it's just a pipe, this kind of collection point for water. And I just refilled here and used some of my purification tabs because I don't have time to sit around and filter my water. So we're heading on. We're still hearing a little thunder and lightning off in the distance. There's the trail we're heading down. And we're trying to do another 7.5 miles in 4 hours. So you can see I've got full raincoat on right now. Andy's got his raincoat on. You can see the blue right there. That's my pack cover. Trying to keep that dry because backpacks are not waterproof, contrary to what some people might think, or if there are waterproof backpacks, I don't have one. So anyhow, more updates later maybe. We got a long ways to go, so we're going to be hiking pretty fast today. So sometimes when you're hiking you get lucky, other times not so much. Andy and I are pretty sure we're hearing either a cascading river or a waterfall. Don't know if you can hear it on the video. So yeah, it's been raining a little bit. It's cloudy now. It keeps the temperature nice. It's been muggy, but we're doing okay temperature wise. I don't know if we're at 13 miles yet. We're doing 15.7 today and not sure how far we have left yet, but I know we're past 12 miles. I'm pretty certain of that. Feeling pretty good. Hike's not been too bad. Appalachian Trail, and here's the sign. I don't know if you can read on the video for Peck's Corner Shelter, 0.4 miles that way. So at this point, we've done about 15.2 miles in the day. One thing about hiking is no matter how often I do it, what kind of day, I will always be happy to head into the shelter and getting camp set up. I think that's universal amongst all hikers. Would you agree with that, Andy?
Oh yeah, of course.
Andy says, oh yeah, of course. All right, it is 7:20 in the a.m. Andy's in front of me and we are on the move. What happened, we were supposed to only do like 13 miles today, but then we got word from hikers. This is the great thing about seeing other hikers on the trail. You find out information. Well, the shelter we were gonna stay at tonight, which is maybe less than 13 miles away. It's been closed down due to bear activity. Don't know what that means exactly, but I've got my theories. A lot of times hikers who are not responsible might feed a bear. Usually that's what happens. And then the bear wants to keep coming around, or in this case, bears. So we're gonna hike a little bit further today. It looks like right around 16 miles instead of 13. So that's fun. Yesterday we did 15.6, and you can tell by my breath. Going uphill, I'm already a little out of breath today. Legs a little bit tired, but I shall persevere, and we're gonna make it to a place called a fire tower. If we're lucky, it's gonna be some beautiful views. And it's starting out right now, clear skies. This morning, the stars were out when I was making my coffee, so that was nice. So we'll see what happens. And I think I'm gonna focus on breathing now. Okay, right there you can read where we are, and that's a geological survey marker. We've made our first ascent of the morning, which was not that big a deal. And this is a great viewpoint for pictures. Yay, clouds. I feel like this is like a foggy morning, that maybe an hour from now, this will be a beautiful view. Conversely, an hour from now, we're gonna be at about 6,000 feet maybe, and maybe we'll be lucky then. Okay, so last video was about 8 a.m. and I showed you a bunch of fog. Now we finally have a view. The clouds are just fighting the sun, but you know, not bad. So it's about 11:30. We're getting close to lunchtime, maybe a little past 11:30. But hey, we finally got a view, so that's cool. And there's a chance tonight where we're staying at a fire tower. I might have mentioned this earlier. We might have some views there. At least we've been told. Okay, so we are at the campsite. 16.1 miles today, I think. So that's a new record for me. I'm not counting at this point. It's a lot of miles. Yesterday was 15.6, and because of the bear activity, and you'll see some pictures probably before this portion of the video. Hopefully I can put pictures on there, and I'll show you why the shelter was closed due to dangerous bear activity, they said. So we went about 2.83 miles beyond. There's been some thunder in the background. Right behind me is the Appalachian Trail, and we're just camped off of it. We had to really water up and bring a lot of water up here because the last water source was at the shelter where we can't stay. So I'll show you, give you a view of the campsite. So there's where Andy's camping right there. He's up in the woods off of the trail. Coming around here, you can't really see, but the Appalachian Trail is literally right there. And then I'm up here in kind of a clearing, and this is where I'm camped out for the night. Really not much else to report. During the hike, I felt pretty tired, but now, you know, I'm at the camp and I'm getting ready to eat dinner, so I feel a lot better. I think my only anxiety is, did I pack enough water when we were at the last place at the shelter, and I had to haul it uphill, so I was kind of trying to balance how much do I want to haul uphill versus how thirsty I am. So Andy and I took an evening stroll after dinner, and we came up to the camera or fire tower to visit two friends we've met along the trail. Gunslinger and Maximus are their trail names. Andy and I don't have trail names, so we're just Andy and Jerry, by the way. There's Maximus and Gunslinger. Okay, so we made it for sunrise, and here's the story. Some hikers came through and woke us up about 10 o'clock at night, shining lights on our tent, and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I ended up taking some Benadryl at like 12:30. I overslept. So I was supposed to be having my coffee right now. But Andy woke me up at 5:47 and I was packed and on the road by 6:11. Bottom line is we made it and I need coffee.